Quickie News. This is Hoops Live, the Tri-State's first and original basketball show.
Good evening and welcome to this girls sectional edition of Hoops Live, and this is where the contenders are separated from the pretenders. We start in the 3A sectionals.
Washington pulled out all the stops to slow down Jackie Young and the Lady Tigers, only to slow themselves down in a 29-9 loss. Tonight, Pocket Athletic champ Southridge took their best shot at dethroning the defending state champs.
Indeed, they did. The Lady Raiders lost by 25 to the Tigers in Game 2 of the regular season. A deafening crowd greeted both teams tonight. We start in the third. Jackie Young getting most of the attention to first to Hannah Brewer, who tees up the tray and finds a twine. Southridge answers back. Kayla Vogerl, she slashes through the D and gets the floater to fall. Back and forth we go. Southridge played stall ball in the fourth, and Princeton is forced to foul. Katie Deering misses this one, but then Jackie Young gets tied up, and the Southridge player, she goes to the line. Young would convert both free throws, giving Princeton a 1-point lead, but Young would then commit the late foul. She can't believe it. And they would convert one of two. Then Young trying to become a big player again, but runs into a wall of players, and then Southridge gets called for traveling, giving Princeton one more shot with 3 seconds left. They throw the lob pass to Young. She gets a good look, but can't get the friendly roll, and Southridge pulls off the upset and ends Jackie Young's illustrious career.
At the end of the game, we got the play we wanted. It was just a little bit short. Jackie just always been unbelievable, and I've had the best seat in the house for the last 4 years.
We're all best friends, and so for that just to be our last game is, I don't know, it's crazy to think about. Yeah, I mean, that's what we wanted. I don't know, the shot just didn't fall.
Young finishes her career atop Indiana's all-time scoring list. She'll play for Notre Dame next fall.
In the other 3A semifinal at Princeton, it was a battle between Big 8 rivals Jasper and Vincennes Lincoln. We pick it up in the second. Madison Hunt knifes her way through the D and gets the tough deuce in traffic. Then Catherine Wiggin gets it on the action with a high arching runner in the lane, plus the foul. She'd convert the free throw. The Alices were undeterred, though. Janae Goodwin hits the front iron on the 3, but Haley Hipsher gets the tough offensive board and cleans up the miss. But then it's Hunt with the takeaway and turns on the Jets, going coast to coast for the deuce. The Alices then respond. Hipsher shows off the range and splashes home the triple. Vincennes Lincoln goes on to win big 47-26.
In the other 3A Tri-State sectional, the Memorial girls tipped off the tournament in grand fashion, beating the host Lady Patriots, earning head coach Bruce Dockery his 450th career victory.
Tonight, the Lady Tigers look to add to Dockery's pad as they faced off against Mount Vernon. The Wildcats came into the tournament winners of 4 of their last 5. Memorial beat Mount Vernon by 27 earlier in the season, so what would happen tonight? Well, with Emily Sullivan down with foul trouble, the Tigers need someone to step up, and freshman Sophia Rickers does just that. She hits back-to-back threes, the second one to end the quarter for an 11-point Tiger lead. Mount Vernon tries to stand tall, though, as Alexis Null stifles this Tiger shot attempt with a helping of stuffing. Then Hallie Fisher knocks down the long 2 here to bring the Wildcats within 8. But Memorial quickly gets things under control as here off the miss, Grace Lensing boards and spins in the putback 2. Then it's a nice drive and kick to Lizzie Perdue, and she lays it in, and Memorial rolls big time, 69-39. In the second game at Lincoln City, it was 8-win Boonville trying to pull the upset of 20-win Gibson Southern. Early on, the Titans were in control as Skylar Bowes goes baseline and makes a difficult lay-in for a 7-point lead. But Boonville hangs tough as Abby Green goes bombs away from the wing to narrow their deficit. However, back the other way, it's Amy Niehaus weaving her way down the lane, spinning and hitting the tough bank shot here left-handed. But the Pioneers came to play, especially Green, as she drives in and somehow gets this short jumper up and in. Then the Pios get it inside to their big girl Ariel Blankenship, and she gets the hoop and the harm to make it a 2-point game. And Boonville shocks Gibson Southern on a last-second game winner by Abby Green, 49-47.
Wow, that was shocking. Now we turn to the 4A's at Central High, where the host Lady Bears figured to be the favorite with the SIAC crown already affixed up top their heads.
However, a rematch with Castle loomed on the immediate horizon should both squads advance tonight.
Up first for the Lady Bears was the Warriors of Harrison. I believe that was were, not was. Caught in semantics. Central bench boss Brittany Mainers had her squad ready to roll for the opening tip, and they came out of intermission with a big lead. But despite the long odds, Harrison came out gunning. Madison Beck spots up and rattles home the triple from the wing. Next, Kyla Reed has a notion, follows it across the hardwood ocean, and finishes smoother than baby lotion. Warriors showing some fight. But the Bears are a determined bunch. Aaron Hodges with the theft and the eventual deposit. Next, Allie Wolf splits the defense, sidesteps the swipe, then lays it up and off the glass for two. Everything going right for Central. Off the tip pass, Wolf taps the rock to Alexis Thomas, who pulls the trigger on the triple, and splash. The Bears poured on from there. Haya Haywood with the Spinderella move and goes high off the glass for two. Central's on its way to a 70-29 whitewash win. So could Shane Holmes' Wright's Lady Panthers, winless in the regular season, derail the Knights in Game 2 tonight? Things start off well for the Panthers. The long ranger, Olivia Schellenberg, fires from beyond the arc and nails the trifecta, but Castle answers quickly. First, Jessica Nunji drives the lane and kisses the glass hard for two. Next, the active hands of Kaylee Stowe come into play as she short circuits a pass and takes it the other way for the deuce and the lead. But Wrights can play defense too. Check this out. Jaylee Schlosser with the rejection in the paint. However, ultimately, this is Castle's game. Off the inbound, Macy Sturgeon pops in the quick jumper. Next, it's Chloe Mills collecting the outlet pass, then draining the baseline jumper. McKendry Ward continues the theme with the grand larceny and the coast-to-coast deposit. Castle cruises 54-30. And that does it for round one of Hoops Live, but there's still more hardwood highlights to come.
When we'll begin our look at the exciting Indiana 2As. But first, here's a look at a few more scores from around the area.
Welcome back, and as promised, we turn to the 2As, where the two favorites to take home the title cross paths tonight in the semifinals.
North Posey and Forest Park chased each other in the Pocket Athletic standings all season, only to finish tied.
That's right. The Lady Vikes took an 8-point decision from the Rangers in the regular season finale in Poseyville last week. The winner of these two heavyweights will have a great chance to win the whole thing tomorrow, but first things first. Early on, the Rangers take the lead as Rachel Hope, she does work inside and the deuce in the 3-point lead. But next time down, Hope, the Vikings star Kayla Sanford says not so fast blocks her. Posey turns that into offense on the other end. Allie Brandenstein post turns and hits. Then off the miss, Sydney Colbert skies for the rebound and fights her way in. It's a 2-point Viking lead. Back the other way, senior spark plug Mariah Morgan knocks down the bucket to tie it up, but the Vikings Sanford is gritty and she gives them back the lead with this drive in for two, and this one goes right down to the wire with Forest Park winning it 49-47.
In the second 2A semifinal, it's South Spencer and Tell City squaring off. Early on, the marksmen are on the mark. Here's Emma Connert takes it in coast to coast for the basket. Then off the miss, Madison Mathena grabs the carom, puts it back up, scores, and draws the foul. But back come the upset-minded Rebels as Justice Taylor is true on this 2-pointer to tie the game. Then Maddie Dawson is all alone in the corner, and she goes 3-ball, corner pocket, good. Later, the Rebels bring it up, and Callie Woodburn gets it inside, and she throws it up and in, and South Spencer pulls the mild upset, winning 55-45. They get Forest Park tomorrow.
Well, that does it for Indiana, so now we head down to the Bluegrass State to Madisonville, where the Lady Maroons have been on a season-long hot streak, winners of 18 of their first 20.
Tonight, they played host to a Caldwell County squad that was on the other end of the Region 2 spectrum, occupying a spot near the bottom of the standings. The Tigers fell by 29 to Madisonville back in mid-January.
To Maroons country, where oddly enough we show the other team's cheerleaders. There must be a reason for that. No one told me. We pick it up in the second quarter, and as expected, the Maroons are rolling. Adrian Gary bounces the inbounds pass to Molly Stone, who gets the bang-bang bucket. Madisonville's up 16. Later in the stanza, the Maroons work the ball outside to Jada Civils, who fires from long range but misses. But somehow, Foster, she bails her out, making the air ball look like a sweet lob in the paint. Less than a minute to go in the second quarter. Maroons up 18 and looking for more. Adrian Gary drives the lane, draws the entire Caldwell defense, which is what she wanted as she dished to Molly Stone. And the rest is history. The Maroons motored to a 67-23 blowout. To the college hardwoods, where the Evansville women haven't seen the high side on a scoreboard in nearly a month. Losers of 5 straight.
However, things were looking up for the Lady Aces tonight as they took on the last team they beat, Bradley, up in Peoria tonight. We pick it up late in the first quarter. The Lady Aces have built, then blown a 9-point lead, but Camille Coleman gets it back with a dribble, drive, and deuce. That halts an 11-0 Braves run. But Bradley goes on another tear in the second. All told, a 9-0 streak, and when the smoke clears, Evansville's down 25-18. But the Lady Aces battle back, coming out of the locker room on fire. First, Sarah Dickey drives to the iron for 2. Then on the fast break, Sasha Robinson gets ahead of the pack and lays it up and in for the equalizer, and it's 29-all. But that's as good as it gets for OT Sep's squad as Evansville commits 27 turnovers while forcing only 13, and they fall to Bradley 66-52. Sarah Dickey leads the way for the Aces with 13 points.
In Premier League basketball tonight, the boys from Owensboro, the Kentucky Mavericks, make it an even 100 wins in a row in the land of Lincoln as they down the Danville Riverhawks tonight in Illinois, 114-78.
Congrats to them.
Yes, finally, Swander Arena, where the Evansville Thunderbolts played host to Nashville this afternoon. This one was a defensive stalemate for the first 13 minutes of play as the Junior Predators make themselves at home finally with a pair of Josh Hill tallies, sending the T-Bolts into the locker room down 2-0 after 1. However, midway through the second, just as a power play expires, Brandon Rozima, he would slip one past the Nashville netminder, getting Evansville on the board. And that's as good as it would get, though, for the T-Bolts as they fall 5-1 the final. Interesting note, tomorrow night's game at 7:30 against Nashville, that game was free. That one is free tomorrow night as well.
Yeah.
You'll also have tomorrow, very early start. You'll be up early, taking on the Evansville, taking on Missouri State men's action.
That's right. Also, Kentucky Wesleyan on the road at Oakland City, so a little interesting D2 matchup there. And tomorrow night, girls sectional championships.
And don't forget about the Icemen. They'll be in action as well. That's going to do it for this edition of Hoops Live. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.